In the quiet corners of churches around the world, the Last Supper stands as a profound testament to faith, hope, and the enduring spirit of community. Known in various traditions as the Last Supper or the Eucharist, this sacred event is not merely a ritual, but a cornerstone of Christian belief, deeply embedded in the narrative of Jesus Christ and the early Church. It is a moment that encapsulates the essence of Christianity, bridging the gap between the divine and the human, the sacred and the mundane. The Last Supper, as recounted in the Gospels, represents the final meal Jesus shared with his disciples before his crucifixion. It is a poignant scene, rich with meaning and emotion, where Jesus, knowing the fate that awaited him, chose to gather his closest followers. He broke bread and shared wine, symbols of his body and blood, establishing what would become the foundational practice of communion. This act was not merely a farewell, but an invitation to partake in a new covenant, a promise of salvation and eternal life. The significance of this event extends beyond its historical context. It is a profound demonstration of love, sacrifice, and the call to unity among believers. For Christians, the Last Supper is a moment of deep reflection and reverence. It serves as a reminder of Jesus' teachings and his ultimate sacrifice for humanity's sins. The act of sharing bread and wine is imbued with theological significance, symbolizing the body and blood of Christ, an acknowledgement of the mystery of faith that binds believers together. This sacrament is a celebration of grace, a reminder that through Christ, believers are redeemed and united in their shared faith. It is a moment that transcends time, connecting the early Church with contemporary believers, fostering a sense of community and belonging. Different Christian denominations interpret and observe the Last Supper in various ways, each adding layers of meaning to this sacred event. In Roman Catholicism, the Eucharist is considered one of the 7 sacraments, a vital aspect of spiritual life. The belief in transubstantiation holds that during the Mass, the bread and wine truly become the body and blood of Christ. This transformation is central to Catholic worship, emphasizing the real presence of Christ in the sacrament. The rituals surrounding the Eucharist are steeped in tradition, with elaborate liturgies and a strong emphasis on reverence and awe. The faithful are encouraged to participate regularly, as it is believed that doing so nourishes the soul and strengthens one's relationship with God. In contrast, many Protestant denominations approach the Last Supper with a different lens. For instance, in Lutheranism, the concept of consubstantiation is embraced, suggesting that Christ's presence exists alongside the bread and wine rather than transforming them. This belief encourages a communal experience where the faithful gather to remember and celebrate the sacrifice of Christ. In many evangelical churches, the emphasis may be less on the sacramental nature of the elements and more on the act of remembrance itself. Communion is often seen as a symbolic act that fosters community and encourages believers to reflect on their faith and the teachings of Jesus. Orthodox Christianity also holds the Last Supper in high regard, viewing the Eucharist as a means of communion with God. The Divine Liturgy, rich in symbolism and ritual, emphasizes the mystery of the sacrament. In Orthodox tradition, the faithful partake of the Eucharist as a way to unite with Christ and the Church, reinforcing the communal aspect of worship. The rituals are often accompanied by chants and prayers that echo the ancient practices of the early Church, creating a deeply spiritual atmosphere. In addition to these theological differences, the observance of the Last Supper varies across cultures and regions. In many Latin American countries, for example, the celebration of Holy Week is a vibrant and colorful event, with processions and reenactments of the Last Supper. These celebrations often incorporate local customs and traditions, reflecting the unique cultural identities of the communities. The blending of indigenous practices with Christian beliefs creates a rich tapestry of faith that honors the significance of the Last Supper while also embracing local heritage. In Africa, the Last Supper is often celebrated with exuberance and joy, reflecting the communal nature of many African cultures. The Eucharist may be accompanied by singing, dancing, and communal meals, emphasizing the importance of fellowship and community. This celebration serves not only as a remembrance of Christ's sacrifice, but also as a reaffirmation of the bonds that unite believers in faith and love. The vibrant expressions of worship highlight the diversity of Christian practice and the ways in which cultural contexts shape the understanding of sacred events. In Asia, the observance of the Last Supper may take on unique characteristics influenced by local beliefs and customs. In countries like the Philippines, where Catholicism is deeply ingrained in the culture, the celebration of the Eucharist is a central part of religious life. Holy Week is marked by elaborate rituals, including the reenactment of the Last Supper, which draws large crowds and fosters a sense of community. In contrast, in countries where Christianity is a minority religion, such as in parts of India or China, the observance may be more subdued, focusing on the intimate gathering of believers who come together to share in the sacred meal. The Last Supper's significance extends beyond the act of communion itself. It serves as a call to action for Christians around the world. The teachings of Jesus during this final meal emphasize service, humility, and love for one another. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, an act that transcends cultural barriers and speaks to the heart of Christian ethics. This moment serves as a powerful reminder that true greatness lies in serving others, a message that resonates deeply in various cultural contexts. In many Christian communities, the Last Supper is not only a moment of remembrance, but also a catalyst for social action. Churches often use this sacred event as an opportunity to engage in charitable works, reflecting the call to serve those in need. Whether through food drives, community service, or supporting local missions, the spirit of the Last Supper inspires believers to extend their faith into action, embodying the love and compassion that Jesus demonstrated. As the world continues to change, the observance of the Last Supper remains a vital aspect of Christian life. In an increasingly secular society, many churches are finding new ways to engage believers and newcomers alike. Creative expressions of worship, such as art installations, contemporary music, and interactive liturgies, are emerging as ways to make the significance of the Last Supper relevant to a new generation. These innovations seek to bridge the gap between tradition and modernity, inviting individuals to explore the depths of their faith in meaningful ways. In the face of challenges, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, the Last Supper has also adapted. Many churches turned to virtual platforms to celebrate the Eucharist, finding ways to connect with their congregations while honoring the sacredness of the moment. This adaptability speaks to the resilience of faith and the enduring power of community, reminding believers that even in times of separation, the spirit of the Last Supper can unite hearts and minds. Ultimately, the Last Supper stands as a profound symbol of hope and unity within Christianity. It invites believers to reflect on the teachings of Jesus, to engage in acts of love and service, and to come together in community. Across denominations and cultures, the observance of this sacred event fosters a sense of belonging, reminding Christians that they are part of a larger narrative that transcends time and space. It is a celebration of faith that continues to inspire and transform lives, a testament to the enduring power of love, sacrifice, and the promise of redemption. In every corner of the globe, the Last Supper remains a beacon of hope, a call to action, and a reminder of the profound love that binds believers together. As Christians gather to partake in this sacred meal, they do so not only in remembrance of Christ's sacrifice, but also in anticipation of the hope and promise that lies ahead. The Last Supper is more than a historical event. It is a living expression of faith that continues to shape the hearts and minds of believers, inviting them to embrace the fullness of life in Christ.